Good evening. I'm your local weather authority, Chief Meteorologist Chris Shades. For most of us, it has been a rather quiet day. A lot of sunshine, a few passing cumulus clouds with temperatures in the mid-80s. Nice view on the Pontiac RV camera. We have a few pop-up showers out there, most of which in LaSalle County and just west of Knox County. But temperatures here in Peoria comfortable, 84 with mostly clear skies. By 7, temps around 81 will drop into the upper 60s later tonight. Another chance for a few showers and storms late tonight, early tomorrow. We'll have that forecast coming up. WMBD News at 5 starts now.
As concerns over unrest continue across the state, the National Guard starts a response in Peoria. I'm Matt Sheehan with a look at how troops are helping protect the community.
Meditation, prayer, and protests. I'm Manash Kungwari in Bloomington, and I'll tell you what McLean County community members have been doing all day to stand against inequality.
Remembering George Floyd, I'm Skyler Henry in Minneapolis, where hundreds are paying their respects at this first memorial service.
First tonight, breaking news. A Peoria man now facing federal charges. Police believe this man, Quintez Gibson, posted 4 Facebook Live videos. They included threats to police and calls for people to gather referring to rioting. Gibson is now criminally charged with using the internet to incite a riot. If convicted, he faces 5 years in prison. A group in the Twin Cities rallying for change. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Rebecca Brumfield. Kimberly has the evening off. Manash Kungwari joins us live from a peaceful gathering in Bloomington. Manash, what is happening there right now?
Yeah, guys, well, earlier today, community members took to Facebook and said they would be protesting in front of the McLean County Museum of History at 5, but it seems that's been pushed back to 6, and it's going to be happening here at the McLean County Law and Justice Center. But I want to show you a quick video that we took in Normal, where community members came together at Uptown Circle for meditation and prayer. A community member in Normal actually posted on Facebook saying that she was going to go there, giving people a chance to join her and reflect on some of the violence that our country has seen this past week. And she wanted people to brainstorm ways in which they can solve some of these issues that many people here in the community and all over the country are really dealing with at this time. And again, that protest that's supposed to be happening here will be happening at 6 o'clock. We will be here and we'll tell you what's happening as it's happening. In Bloomington, I'm Manash Kungwari.
Manash, thank you. Putting action behind words of promise. Central Illinoisans who are looking to find a way to support the Black community can do so in numerous ways. One is by supporting Black-owned business. Conversations surrounding the death of George Floyd have sparked a global discussion aimed at challenging all people to support the Black community in any way you can.
Is the next evolution of America's growth as a country is to make sure that we embrace business, especially Black business owners, and give them a chance. Because if you strengthen Black businesses, you strengthen Black communities, and you strengthen Black people, and you strengthen America all at the same time. And I don't know what could make more sense than that.
Peoria's Black Business Directory houses diverse places where you can spend money. It's also a place where you can engage in conversations to educate yourself about the Black community.
Go and do business with them. I mean, be intentional about going and letting them know that we appreciate that you're here and that, you know, we want to buy your products and services. One
of over 30 business owners highlighted from the directory says support is encouraged in his storefront.
What would you want when you want your people to support you? And so that's where, you know, us, the Black owners, our minority owners feel also. Support us. We're here for you.
Young's Popcorn Heaven has been backed by the community for 4 years. The owners saying they'll be out and about selling popcorn with restrictions lifting from COVID-19. The Lake Avenue store back to regular operating hours. Business owners along with the community also getting assistance from the National Guard. Matt Sheehan joins us from our newsroom now. Matt, what are some of the things that these Guard members will be doing?
Well, yeah, Rebecca, hopefully this will provide some relief for Peoria police officers, many working double shifts lately to protect businesses from looting. Now, Governor Pritzker expanded his disaster proclamation Wednesday, adding Peoria to one of the Illinois' 15 counties in the proclamation. Now, guardsmen will be on standby at different commercial businesses throughout the city of Peoria, allowing police to respond to calls. Mayor Jim Artis tells me there's no reason to be concerned the Guard is here and that they're just here to support police.
We don't have any information that says we're going to have a huge spike in violence or anything else. It's totally, at this point at least, it's preventive, and it's intentionally and hopefully to take some of the pressure off our police department.
An artist says he never officially requested the National Guard to come to Peoria. He and City Manager Patrick Urick talked to Governor Pritzker's office about what the process would be. That was on Monday, but artist says it wasn't until the governor's office alerted Peoria police that we knew the National Guard would be activated. Rebecca.
Matt, thank you. From our Twin Cities newsroom, McLean County judges are cracking down on those who get arrested for stealing merchandise during violent protests. Now, as we know, several people are facing charges of felony level for looting, burglary, and mob action. Police believe all played a role in the Bloomington Eastland Mall incident on Monday. Now, although innocent until proven guilty, many are seeing their bond amounts higher than expected. State's Attorney Don Knapp says the lowest bond set for the allegations was around $40,000.
I think people should be forewarned that if you get caught and get arrested, it's going to cost you at least $4,000 to get out of jail, and maybe as much as $30,000. I think that sends a pretty serious message to everybody of just how worrisome that behavior is.
Knapp believes most, if not all, of who were accused will file a motion to have their bond reduced. Still, he is warning community members that there are penalties they could face for committing these actions. A man in McLean County turned himself into police last night. Police believe he's responsible for setting off a smoke device during a peaceful rally in Bloomington. It happened outside of the Law and Justice Center. The sheriff's office released the photo of the man. Now, Facebook users then helped police identify who he is. Right now, the sheriff is not releasing his name. He is currently booked into the McLean County Detention Facility. Now more than ever, local medical experts are sharing the importance of mental health. Many believe while there's an importance to stay informed, sometimes you do need to distance yourself from absorbing too much information. President of Unity Point Place says mental and physical health are just as important now as ever. He also adds a stress reaction is normal, but the longevity of stress people have due to the pandemic and now civil unrest is cause for concern.
Really focus on what do you have control over and what do you not have control over. Once you have figured those things out, you can do something about the things you have some control over. Next, really kind of do what helps you, encourage you to have a feeling of a sense of safety.
Dr. Bender says this could be speaking to a loved one, seeing a therapist, or even starting a journal. He adds 3 extremely important things to focus on now are exercising, eating healthy, and sleeping well. Stocks today closed slightly higher than expected. The Dow up close to 12 points to 26,281. Other stocks, while slightly down, still performed better than expected. An economic expert from Bradley University tells WMBD the fact that stocks are beginning to increase in price is due to the thought that big businesses will improve within the next few months. But he says this isn't a mirror of how well the overall economy is doing.
One sort of morbid reason why stocks have been doing well is because the big companies are doing well, the small companies are not, and so when this whole thing passes, many of the big companies will be left with less competition.
He says because stocks are improving, investors believe the market will recover. Adding stock prices tanked so much in March because no one knew how long the pandemic would last and how bad the virus would impact companies. Millions across the country are taking time to remember the life of George Floyd. We'll hear more about the action many believe still needs to happen. Plus, bouncing back from a pandemic, how the tourism industry in central Illinois is working towards recovery.
It has been a beautiful day across much of the region. Check out this time lapse as we overlook Peoria. From East Peoria, a few pop-up showers off in the distance there. Will that trend continue? We'll have your forecast coming up next.
Central Illinois proud with Kimberly Eaton, Rebecca Brumfield, and Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates with your local Weather Authority forecast. This is WMBD News at 5.